What's up, guys? It's Gary with Fresh from the Farm Fungi. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, and today I wanted to talk about the difference between LC, or liquid culture, and Agar, or Agar if you're from the Midwest. So these are two different grow medias that are used to cultivate mushrooms. There's a little bit of difference in utility between a liquid culture and Agar, and I kind of wanted to bring up some of the differences. For the most part, the speed is going to be the main difference, but also contamination rates, visualization of contamination, longevity of the cultures, and the costs, which are relatively the same for both, but there is a big difference in time commitment and I guess just the skill involved with making liquid cultures in Agar. Alright, so the first difference between a liquid culture and an Agar culture is going to be the growth rate in the medium. So liquid culture is a huge revolution in the mushroom industry because it took a two-dimensional surface and created a three-dimensional growing environment. So mycelium, which is typically grown either within the substrate or underneath the ground, you can almost think of it as the roots of the mushroom. It definitely benefits from having a three-directional growth rate because it's going to seek out nutrients a lot faster, a lot more rapidly, and it can absorb them faster. So that is probably the main benefit of utilizing a liquid culture. So our liquid cultures, we make them from 4% honey solution. We use Bjorn's honey from Boulder, Colorado. It's a local honey source, and it's been working amazing for the past few years. So that's what we typically use. With some of the more difficult strains to cultivate, we will supplement our solution with either tryptic, soy, or other proteins to allow the mushrooms to adapt more to the solution. But for the most part, it's just a sugar water and then a three-dimensional matrix for the mushroom to grow. So then that leads us to Agar. What is Agar? So this is a petri dish with MEA, or malt extract agar, and it's a gelatin solution, and it's derived from algae, and basically you would mix it in a solution and then bring it up to a boil so it completely dissolves, and then we sterilize it in a pressure cooker or an autoclave for 20 minutes at 15 psi or 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is going to kill any microorganisms that might otherwise be present, and then we'll pour it onto sterile petri dishes and let them cool. So these are about a week old, and you can see right through them very easily. So the benefit of using Agar is that it creates a two-dimensional filter for the mycelium. So for a technician like myself or a mushroom cultivator, it's really important to be able to identify contamination, because you don't want to replicate an organism that you're not trying to cultivate, because it's going to compete with the mushrooms, or it could just introduce various, species, or I guess you don't want to have any bacteria or yeast or mold that are competing with the mushrooms, which the Agar is the best tool to identify any potential contamination. So the speed of which it grows on Agar is relatively fast compared to what it would grow in nature. So the speed of Agar is still relatively fast. An oyster mushroom can colonize these plates within a week or two. These plates here are from 2 days ago. And the next topic I guess I wanted to get into is the difference in visualization from an agar plate to a liquid culture solution. So these are both really healthy cultures. This is a lion's mane here, and I like to put a stir bar in the bottom so I can mix these for a few minutes at a time, and that way it will break up the mycelium and allow it to expand and really cultivate that liquid broth. So when you are observing a liquid culture, you're going to want to look for clearness. So you can see my hand pretty clear on the other side. So if there's any yeast present or any bacteria present, it's going to be a very dense and cloudy solution. So you won't be able to see all the way through it because the cells are replicating and eating up those nutrients and creating a barrier for the light to pass through. So that's the number one observation for liquid culture. Sometimes you can smell if there's contamination just because it's such a nutritious substance that it will rapidly produce bacteria. So then with an agar, you are going to observe growth in a two-dimensional fashion. So you're just looking for colonies to start, or if you made a transfer from another culture like a slant, it would kind of look like this, and it will start with a central point, and then the healthy mycelium is going to expand outward. But I like to use the agar to quality control, because one of the problems when you're using a liquid culture is that you can't tell the difference between a contaminated culture and a healthy culture. So this is a maitake, very healthy, you can see clearly through it. And then this is a contaminated oyster mushroom culture. So you can see they both kind of look healthy. There are a few spherical cultures in here, and I happen to know that there's some Trichoderma in that culture. So I was able to catch that contamination before introducing it to the next step, which actually saves me a lot of time and effort. And you can see this is a petri dish that I quality controlled from 2 days ago. So Trichoderma typically shows up within 42 to 72 hours, and you can see the green spots right here, which are an indication of a mold called Trichoderma. So this would mean that this culture here, which essentially I just pulled out a solution with a sterile syringe, injected it onto this petri dish, and then waited to observe for healthy growth. So if you see any blotchiness, like sliminess, that typically is indicative of bacteria. There's other confirmatory tests you can do to identify it. This is kind of just a very broad screen of what is in this solution. So it's really important to do your quality control before moving on. So this right here is another liquid culture. This is a blonde morel, and you can see these tiny little spherical colonies that are separated away from the big mass of mycelium. So this is actually contaminated as well, and typically it happens either when I'm opening this lid to put my agar wedge into the culture, that's a big risk, or if the needle or the port that I'm injecting my culture is not sterile, then it can introduce these contaminants. But you can see right here, that is the start of probably some penicillium mold, and typically the morel culture will be really spread thin. I might have one right here, and it would look alright. So yeah, you can see it's very spindly and fast growing. So this is actually after 2 days growth. It's a Morchella import tuna, which we're going to be planting for fall. So far we've gone through the rate of growth on agar versus liquid culture, which the liquid culture allows for a three-dimensional growth at a faster rate. So then we got into the different visualization aspects of a liquid culture versus an agar culture. So agar is a two-dimensional filter which allows you to observe contamination, where a liquid culture, you can kind of observe contamination by the clearness of the solution. So I guess the next difference between the two is the rate of contamination, or I guess the liability of contamination. So when you're utilizing a liquid culture, an agar culture, you have to be in front of a flow hood. So the opening of this vessel is going to be big enough where any dust or debris from your skin can cause bacterial or yeast or mold colonies to land on the surface and then out-compete the mycelium culture. So in order to do that, you have to maintain proper aseptic technique. I have tons of videos. You can look and observe my methods, but essentially we're keeping the top of this agar dish from being exposed to any other contaminants. When you're working with a liquid culture, it's much easier to keep sterile because you can use these injection ports here, which allow a needle to go in virtually sterile, and then any air from the exchange from the needle is going to be filtered with this 0.2 micron syringe filter. So basically you would take your sterile needle and your sterile syringe, inject it into the lid, pull it up, and then release, and you have successfully transferred that culture without introducing any oxygen or any potential contaminants. And then when you go to make your injection, the size of these needles is so small that the opening for any contaminants to get in here is significantly less than the opening for the petri dish. So that's another benefit for liquid cultures. But also, when you use a slant culture compared to a petri dish culture, the opening is significantly less on this one as well. So slants are a little bit safer, which is why I use them for long-term storage. You can check out our video on why slants are important, and that, I guess, brings up our last and final difference between the two, is that with a slant culture, you can refrigerate these, and this reservoir of nutrients here will outlast any liquid culture, even refrigerated. So the longevity of a liquid culture could be years and years, but eventually the mycelium is going to utilize all of these nutrients before it would with a slant, which is why these are usually used for a long-term storage solution. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on the difference between liquid cultures and agar. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you're looking for more mycology videos like these, and stay tuned. We've got a lot of exciting things happening pretty soon, so we'll be posting some videos about some exciting things that are about to happen with our farm, and I'll continue to put out more mycology content like this to help you guys understand more about mushrooms and just, you know, bring awareness to some of the differences between the tools, which I believe you should utilize all of these tools, and you shouldn't really rely on one or the other, because there's a time and a place to use agar and liquid culture, and I believe both of these technologies have really helped to advance the mycology industry itself. Alright, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and much love.